Oh my gosh. Look at my crazy. So, hi. Welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz, and I will be guiding you on this journey today. This is a reading for Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Venus also, actually, because it's kind of funny because I use my little bowl to choose the order that I do the readings, and the two zodiac sign readings that came out today were Libra and Taurus, and you're both ruled by Venus. And Venus is literally sitting right on top of the North Node today in Aries. So you could be feeling that. The North Node is our purpose, kind of the direction that we're heading into. Even if you don't have a North Node in Aries, it's just wherever Aries is for you, you could be feeling, some things around that. There's also Chiron and Mercury and the Sun in Aries right now. So, um, interesting. But I did kind of get a chuckle out of choosing Libra and Taurus for the readings today. So let's get you an oracle card. Also, what is interesting is that I've been using the Light Seers tarot for all of the readings, and I don't know if it was yesterday. I went in my wherever I keep my all of my decks. I have 4 decks on my table, 5 now, because I picked up the Gentle Tarot and was just kind of playing around with it myself. I haven't touched these cards in a long time, but anyway, I gave myself a reading, and so they've been sitting here on my table with the other 4 decks that I have on my table, and I just got this feeling to use it for the Taurus reading. And I always get consent from my decks when I use them for readings. And I just do that by shuffling until I get a card out. And if it's just a traditional yes or a traditional no card, then, we go from there. So I shuffled asking if it wanted to do the Taurus reading, and it gave me the 10 of Cups, which is a yes card. So we'll get to that, but let's get you an oracle card first for Taurus. Also, like my hair, dude. So I'm on this curly hair journey at this late stage in my life. um and I have no clue what I'm doing. I'm just not very good with hair. Anyway, I feel like my sister got those genes where she's good at doing hair, and I'm just not. Um, so anyway, if you have any tips, any tricks, especially for thin or fine hair, um, help a girl out, okay? Because I'm struggling over here. I'm about to just go back to flattening it. So we have the card, take a break. A life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. Do you have to tell a Taurus that more than once? Nope. Not this Taurus anyway. I'm a Taurus sun. Also, there is that Jupiter Uranus conjunction that's happening in Taurus. No doubt you're feeling the effects of that in some capacity. I think that's to the exact degree, like on Saturday or Sunday this week. Today is the 17th. So you could be feeling that wherever Taurus is in your chart. Like for me, that conjunction is happening right between my Mercury and Chiron. And my Chiron is conjunct my sun by 1 degree. So all of that is in there. We have Temperance. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to cover up these cards. Part of me is a little worried about that with YouTube, but we have the 7 of Cups. I kind of love that Temperance is the first card that came out, and we have the take a break oracle card. We have 2 of thunder or 2 of swords. We have 9 of pentacles or 9 of stones. We have the 8 of swords. That was kind of weird how that came out. And then we have the 4 of wands. We have the 9 of cups at the bottom of the deck, and then the 6 of wands, 8 of pentacles, page of pentacles. Interesting. So let's see what this card has to say. Okay, so you look at the card. I'll read from the book. It's okay to take a break and enjoy your creations, to take a moment from your busy schedule, to get off the treadmill of life, to appreciate and acknowledge all that you have created, achieved, released, or experienced before rushing on to the next thing, to be in the moment and enjoy where you are, to take a breath and regather your mind, body, and spirit, to recalibrate, appreciate, and celebrate. I love that. To decide on what you really want to experience next. If you take a moment, you are not going to miss out. Perhaps you have just completed a big project, manifested something significant in your life, released an old way of being, or just been burning the candle at both ends. Now is the time to take some time out before rushing on to the next thing. You did it. Enjoy yourself and recalibrate. Go on vacation, book a massage, take long walks in nature, go away for a rejuvenating weekend to recharge and replenish. Excuse me. That's been happening a lot throughout these readings. Just like I apologize. I don't mean to be rude or gross. Okay. So we start with the Temperance card. I'm kind of curious. What does, let's see, 0, let's see, that's, oh, here we go. It says, harmony is my natural state. I breathe into balance and shine on. I love the birds that are on the card. It's like, literally, it's like, stopping to smell the roses, even just like the oracle card was even saying, just taking a break. Even, being an earth sign with Taurus, like if it's accessible to you, if the weather is nice enough, going to sit outside, going into nature, going on a nature drive, just, it really is like something that is like outside of your daily hustle. And I wonder too, if you've been feeling that way. Like for me, I have. I mean, I'm a Cancer rising, but like I said, Taurus is my sun. And the last 2 or 3 weeks, 3 weeks, I would say, I haven't wanted to do anything that like feels like work, that feels like hustle, that feels, like I feel like I'm constantly like 24/7 doing something that pertains to work in some capacity. And I love it. Don't get me wrong. I'm grateful to be able to do it. I'm grateful that I even do it. I love doing it. But the last few weeks, I'm just like, I don't want to do shit. I've been taking myself I went to see a couple movies. I got my hair trimmed. No. I got a facial too, like, just trying to relax, basically, and Temperance talks about alchemy. It's, things coming together, but it's also giving the thing time to come together. Right? It's literally, like the blending of energies, like traditionally on the, or, sometimes the Temperance card is viewed as like fire and water. And, blending those two things together. Even like I watched that movie Elemental the other week, and how, there's the fire element and the water element, and how they fall in love and they learn to interact with each other, right? So even that, but it's this feeling of allowing. It's almost like allowing the energy to catch up to you, or allowing yourself to catch up to the energy. But there's something that, like behind the scenes, there's an energy that's working for you. Uranus is who? Oh, it's Aquarius. Because then I was like, oh, I wonder, like, is Jupiter And Uranus, like fire, water. No, that's fire and air. But also, we need air, we need oxygen in order to stoke a fire, to keep a fire going, right? So that's kind of interesting. Maybe, like you will feel a burst. Was a book talking about that? It's almost like waiting for the right energy to come to you to make a decision on what to do next. Like instead of going out of FOMO or like, doing something because you're afraid to say no to the thing, because you're afraid of missing out, right? That's FOMO. Then you're not making a decision from integrity or from your highest good. You're making a decision from ego and from fear. And that doesn't generally, that gets us wherever we need to go and whatever experience we need to experience, but it's not generally like the best thing to do, right? Like, and temperance is paired with the Nine of Pentacles. And even, the card was saying, what did it say? Because I've already forgotten. Harmony is my natural state. I breathe into balance and shine on. This person is in nature. They're sitting under a tree. So again, if it's accessible to you, go hang out with a tree. And truly, if you've ever done this before, you can ask a tree if you can hang out with it, or if you can talk to it, or if it'll help you, and you'll get a yes or no answer. I love, like with trees, like if I am feeling like overwhelmed or, whatever, I will ask a tree to transmute that energy, right? Like photosynthesize it for me, because that's what they do, right? They take in earth, they take in the sun, they take in water, they photosynthesize, they do the thing that they need to do, and then they transmute, and they put off oxygen. So, it's even like the transmuting of energy, turning one thing into another thing, releasing, finding a place of balance. Even again, with my example of just taking my own little break for like literally the last 3 weeks, that it really is like in order to feel more imbalanced, like allowing the energy to come back. So pentacles have to do with our money, how we get it, how we save it, how we spend it. It's our physical time. Where are we putting our physical time? Where are we physically showing up in our lives? It's also our health, our physical body, anything tangible, anything you can touch, the house that you live in, the car that you drive, the possessions that you have, what you place worth and value in. Nines are individual completion. So this is financial independence. This is you getting to a point of, or like reaching your own personal goals, succeeding in your own personal goals. But this is very much about you and you getting yourself there. And even recognizing that rest is, a major factor to allowing you to reach your goals and be successful. Because I think the book did mention about, like constantly being in a state of doing or a state of hustling, right? We just get burned out. And I think Taurus, we need the rest. We need to honor those times in us where, we feel like we just need to take a step back and chill for a minute, veg out, like Taurus again is attached to Venus. So it's, luxury and making yourself feel comfortable. And again, like I said, I took myself to get a facial. I got my hair cut. I went to the movies and enjoyed movie popcorn, which I haven't done, in a while. And just those little things of like filling your own cup a little bit, however that is. It's not necessarily just laying prone and sleeping, unless that is exactly what you need. If you need sleep in the form, or if you need rest in the form of sleep, please honor that for yourself, because truly it'll only get you further than if you were like dog tired trying to like push yourself forward, right? So then we have the Seven of Cups. It's interesting because, okay, so cups have to do with our emotions, how we feel about things. It's also love. What are the things that we love? How do we give and receive it? Heart chakra, right? The Seven of Cups is about options. And I see the Seven of Cups as like the Marie Kondo effect. It's deciding the things that make you feel good and keeping those things. And the things that don't feel good, or the energy has been used of those things, it's getting rid of them. So they have 7 options here, and there's 7 different things. So it's almost kind of like did they choose that thing, or are they still in the process of evaluating these things? Because it really is like going through the aspects of your life, the options that you have, the choices that you need to make, and it's deciding how you feel about those things. Even like I was saying at the beginning of the reading, even using this deck, right? Like it felt good to do that. Whereas like my ego would step in and be like, no, we were using the light seers tarot for these readings, and we have to stick to that, like just very kind of rigid. We have to do that for all of the readings. Why? Who makes those rules? I do. So it felt good to use this deck, and I'm so glad we did, because I think this reading has been awesome already. But there's options, and truly too, even by taking that break, right? It's like the things become more clear, because if we're like in a constant state of busy hustling, it's like we don't really have the opportunity, the time, the energy to really focus on these individual things and decide, are those things still bringing me joy? Or do those things still feel good? And if they don't, we either stop doing them, we stop giving energy to them, or we just shelve them for the time being. It's not like we have to completely get rid of the thing unless that's what needs to happen. But you get to you use your discernment. You get to, make a decision on what that is, what those choices are. And it's interesting that it's paired with the 8 of Swords, because swords have to do with our mind, our thoughts, beliefs, ideas. It's also truth and honesty, but like divine truth and divine honesty. I also see swords as being ego, because that's generally where we hear our ego, is in our minds. And our ego is created by the stories that we attach to experiences, feelings, things. And it becomes a reason why we do things and why we don't do things. Or, this is that fear also, that FOMO thing comes from a place of ego, right? So the 8 of Swords is like a self-inflicted mind prison. It's like feeling like you don't have a choice, or feeling like you're bound to a thing, but really you're like one decision away from changing your circumstance, from changing your literal mind. So maybe, these things are overwhelming. That could be what this is too. Let me see. I am completely free. I have choices, and I wield power to decide. I love that, because I love that it came out with the 7 of Cups, because truly the decision really is yours. Is the thing in alignment with your authenticity? Is it something that is going to help you reach your goal and be successful? Is it something that, again, makes you feel good? Is it something even too that like sets your mind at ease? And I watched the newest Matrix not that long ago. What is that, like Resurrections or something like that? And I'm sure they probably said it maybe in the first Matrix. I haven't watched that one in a while. But in the one that I did watch, I think it came out in like 2021 or something, 2022, something. The White Rabbit was saying that choice is just an illusion, because we already know what we want to do. We've already made the decision. And, to feel like we have choices, and maybe your decision is whatever this fire is. To me, fire would represent passion and creativity, fun. It's also, experiencing something new. It's trying things, because that's also very fire, is that you learn by experiencing, you learn by, taking action. And this Eight of Swords is realizing that you are free to make your own decisions about the Seven of Cups. I have choices and I wield the power to decide. You already know what you want to do, even if you feel like you don't. I'm like, the reason why you might feel like you don't is because of the ego or the fear, or it could be other people's expectations, it could be conditioning, it could be cultural, societal, whatever stuff. But if you allow yourself to kind of put a muzzle on those things, the choice really does become clear. And it's interesting that we next have the Two of Thunder, which is again a card of indecision. I feel like it's also interesting that they are underwater. It says, I am at home with myself. I am supported by the world around me. I will take the time I need to listen. So it's interesting that Swords, or like the suit of air, is underwater. All up in the feels, right? Like, because that's water. Water has to do with our emotions, like I said, with the cups, right? And again, it is this feeling of just being overwhelmed in some capacity, like, feeling underwater. However, though, the message of this card is that I am at home with myself. I am supported by the world around me. I take the time I need to listen. So if that is about literally listening intellectually, whatever, like with your mind, listening to your emotions about your options, then yes, absolutely. And that's even what I was saying with like the Eight of Swords. If you put a muzzle on those FOMO things, on those ego things, then you really get clear on the choice that you want to make. I love that there's like this little seal down here. Like, hey, let's look up the seal totem. Care, protection, curiosity, efficiency, opportunity, psychic abilities, intuition, communication, transformation, and healing. Thick-skinned, sign of trust, security, or promise. Innocence, imagination, play. All of those things. And it's interesting too, like, because these fish are swimming around this person, the seal is like swimming by. So again, even the card saying that you are supported by the world around you, it's like whatever support that you need for this situation will show up for you just by your presence being there, or even by you taking a rest. I mean, that's, they're curled into this ball just floating. So even, I think I said at the beginning of the reading, I can't even remember, that it's like allowing the energy to catch up to you, or allowing you to catch up to the energy. That's what this feels like, the energy catching up. Truly, because you allowed yourself that break, or allowed yourself to just take, honor the need for rest or whatever. It's like things can catch up to you, and that support also, they find you, right? Because you're sitting there, fish swim by, the seal's like, oh, hey, there's this human in the water, what's up? Right? And speaking of support, we end with the Four of Wands, which is community, success. It's celebration. It's reaching a point of success. Why does that feel like it's coming out wrong or weird or something? But let's see what the take up space. Well, here. Take up space. We are powerful, potent creatures capable of so much. You have a plan in place, a vision, and now it's time to fly. Exactly. And that would not be possible if you didn't allow yourself to rest. How do you want to take up space? What do you want to fly towards? Even, the butterfly symbolism is about transformation. It's literally, transforming from one thing to a completely different thing. Even, you know, deciding on what that thing is. Speaking of, right, because they're pointing at the cup that has a fire in it. Wands are fire. This is also, you know, the actions that you have taken, the experiences that you have gone through, the information that you got from those things have gotten you to this point of success, of celebration, of having, you know, that firm foundation under you. Even wanting to spread your wings and fly, even wanting to take up space in some capacity, whatever that is. And then we have the Nine of Cups at the bottom of the deck, which is wish fulfillment. Again, nines, individual completion. This is you feeling like your desires are being met, feeling purposeful. I love that they're just relaxing there, like, you know, playing around with that flower. There was something that just clicked. I don't know where that would have come from, but you probably didn't hear that. I don't know. And then we have the Six of Wands behind it, which is success, victory. So we have two cards, your wishes being fulfilled, your desires being met, right? All your cups being full, you specifically, because nines have to do with you, tens have to do with like other people. And then we have this card of recognition and success. Even like, because I never even recognized that there's a person sitting on top of this eagle. Eagles represent freedom. I love that. We have the Eight of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, I mean, this could even be with having to do with your work in some capacity, or where you, again, you physically are putting your time or will be putting your time, because maybe that's changing in some capacity. This was beautiful. Thank you so much for allowing me to go on this journey with you. I will talk to you soon. Bye.